Listen closely, because what's coming now isn't just another idea tossed into the chaos of your busy mind. This is the pulse beneath the noise, the fire in a world that promises freedom but keeps slipping chains on your wrists with every safe step you take. You've tried playing the game, haven't you? Following the rules, conforming to expectations, building your business, your startup, your vision, hoping the system would finally recognize you, not for what you are, but for what you could become. And yet, here you are, feeling stuck, boxed in, drained by geography, the cruel prison of borders, time zones, borders you never asked for, but are forced to live by every day. It aches, doesn't it? Watching brilliance wasted, ideas dying quietly, because where you are limits who you can be, who you can reach, who you can become. Maybe you've seen it. Your thoughts sparked in a late-night brainstorming session, only to be tethered down by lack of access, by the slow grind of local markets, or worse, the thick walls of politics, culture, and physical distance that cage human potential like some cruel joke. The hardest part is knowing that this isn't about talent. No, it's about geography. Geography that throttles the spread of ideas, suffocates innovation, and robs the world of what should have been universal breakthroughs. What if those borders, those lines on a map, those arbitrary separations didn't exist? Not as barriers, but as bridges, pathways for your ideas to travel faster than any plane, any ship, any handshake could ever carry them. Imagine your greatest insight, your most daring vision, not locked inside your neighborhood, city, or country. Imagine it free, consuming greater space, infecting minds and hearts across continents, without pause, without permission. The truth is, ideas don't belong to places. They belong to people, to humanity. But the system has convinced you otherwise. Right now, the harshest lie you've been fed is that your idea's fate depends on the place where you were born, the languages you speak, the borders that carve up the world like a stale pie where everyone is hungry, but only a few get sliced in. Every investor conversation limited by time zones, every network constrained by locality. It's a slow death of potential, an invisible cage locking away the power of every unleashed mind. The frustration gnaws at your core. Why can't greatness roam free? Why do extraordinary visions have to fight past layers of bureaucracy, prejudice, or just poor access? Here's the brutal truth. The world as it stands wasn't built for the exceptional. It was built to contain them, to make rare talent invisible where it doesn't fit, to keep you isolated in silos that kill synergy. The most damaging consequence? Misaligned brilliance. Exceptional thinkers, creators, founders, scattered fragments of a puzzle that could remake everything, each held back by geography, caught in invisible borders, starved of the connection they need. Instead of joining forces, they burn alone in silence. But now, what's possible is something infinitely greater. What if the biggest breakthroughs come not from the center, but from the edges where rules are broken and boundaries ignored? What if the only way forward was to vanish those arbitrary lines and ignore geography altogether, not physically, but intellectually and practically? The world is waking up to a new reality, one where you are not the citizen of a single place, but a citizen of the world, where ideas explode out of their cages and find homes anywhere, everywhere, with anyone who sees the future the way you do. What does that actually mean? It means tapping into a network that doesn't care where you are, but what fire you carry. It means surrounding yourself with the few who refuse to settle, not for echoes of greatness, but for the real thing. It means partnering with investors who understand that power lies in those aligned sparks, no matter their background or address. It means shifting from local to global, from fragmented to synergized, from small to explosive. Here's a secret nobody else will tell you. When ideas ignore geography, they don't just spread, they evolve, they adapt. They mutate into forms so powerful that industries crumble and new markets are born overnight. You're no longer competing in a narrow arena limited by shipping dates, local laws, or the size of your home turf. You're playing in the wide open field where velocity is everything and collaborations cross oceans with a click, with authenticity, with agility. Being part of this new reality means mastering a different kind of strategy, one that's not about dominant territory, but dominant connection. It's about being selective, ruthless even, with whom you align. It's about crafting, with those few who burn as fiercely as you do, an autonomous force outside the system, beyond the old maps. This isn't networking, it's becoming. Becoming a node in a living organism of radical innovation, where each link multiplies strength and ideas become unstoppable forces. Your biggest problem today isn't lack of talent or drive. It's the system that stifles your freedom with invisible chains made of nation states and outdated thinking. The people who will lead tomorrow don't wait for permission. They tear down walls by ignoring them, moving sideways, diagonally, and vertically through every barrier. You can build that network of untethered power, founders, investors, visionaries you'd never meet otherwise, because the infrastructure of the past no longer serves you. This isn't a dream, a utopia, or some distant promise. This is happening now. It's a movement humming beneath the surface, gathering those few who dare to be sovereign, to question everything, especially the rules that say your place on a map limits your impact. To redefine reality on their terms, not theirs. To patiently build lasting power from relentless, focused connection. The power of liberated individuals lies not in rejection alone, but in uniting those rare sparks across the planet in ways geography cannot touch. Why settle for regional echoes when you can ignite global revolutions? Why wait for some system to recognize your brilliance when you can link with others and create your own? The future belongs to those who see that freedom isn't convenience, it's sacrifice. It's abandoning the comfort of borders and conformity for the unknown thrill of synergy that sets the extraordinary apart. You can be that rare spark, the one who steps out of the mold, challenges the chained narrative, and finds your true allies not by nationality, but by vision, fire, and potential. Your ideas are already traveling, whether you see it or not. But imagine accelerating that journey so they change the planet faster than ever before. That's not a possibility, it's a necessity, especially for those tired of living someone else's borrowed life. It's time to stop asking permission from the old guard. Time to stop being boxed in by the invisible fences of the system. Time to connect with a network where rarity is valued and difference becomes strength, not division. Where your singular fire doesn't burn wasted, but ignites others in a chain reaction of radical change. Because what happens when ideas ignore geography? They break free. They explode boundaries. They unleash the true potential of human genius. They rewrite the rules of progress from the edges of the known world to the undreamt of horizons. This is where revolution begins. In you, in those you unite with, in every insight you refuse to cage. This is not for the faint-hearted. It's for those who burn brighter, who stare hard at their own limitations and refuse to blink. Who dare to be misunderstood, misaligned, yet never alone. Who know that the greatest power lies in connection fueled by defiance, not compliance. If that tension inside you won't let silence settle, if you hear that quiet scream telling you there is more, then this is your call to rise above geography, to transcend every limitation and become part of a new world where ideas are unchained and soar. No flags, no borders, no middlemen, just pure, fierce, unstoppable becoming. Join the few who are already doing it, who are building the future out of nothing but pure will and connection. Because when ideas ignore geography, nothing will ever be the same again. The world waits, not for those who settle, but for those who rise without borders. Will you answer that call?